Pippen for three.
Scotty's been shooting incredible. You know, the Bulls are leading the NBA in three-point shooting, and Scotty's been the biggest benefit of the three-point line.
Divac in a post-up. Harper with the double. That leaves Eddie Jones open, and Jones cans one.
Well, we can see early in the game, the Lakers really want to take advantage of the inside game. And the Bulls know that, and so they're going to throw the ball out. Oh, my gosh. This crowd is incredible. They're really into this game already, Vern.
Los Angeles third in the NBA in steals, and they get that one, and Eddie Jones has 5 points. Rodman gets it off to Pippen, who loses the ball. Chicago averaging 15 turnovers per game. Here's Eddie Jones, guarded by Ron Harper. They look inside for Elton Campbell. Nice give and go. Jones
beautiful.
flashes.
That's the matchup they want to take advantage of. They don't think Whittington or Rodman can guard Elton Campbell. Elton Campbell had an excellent series last year against Dennis Rodman in San Antonio. Right here, a beautiful feed. Elton Campbell had 8 assists last game. A lot of that has to do with, I think, playing with magic, and that it's contagious, that passing attitude.
Foul was on Whittington, his first, and Eddie Jones, who had only 6 points in the win against Golden State on Tuesday night, has every point for Los Angeles thus far in the game. Pippen looks inside. Here's Jordan. Hasn't taken a shot yet. There's his first. Michael's been struggling from the floor in the last 2 games. Might have been with us on Tuesday night. He was 7 of 26 against Houston. Last night, Jordan was 7 of 16. He did score 27 in the win that second night.
Vern, we can not expect to see that tonight. Michael's been waiting for this game. Like Magic said in the opening, he's a quiet assassin.
Elton Campbell has really picked up his game in the last dozen or so. Los Angeles perfect from the floor. Jordan. Eddie Jones, now Harper in the low post to Whittington. Guts and kicks it, throws it away. Eddie Jones, 2-on-3. Jones, Sabalos. It's going to go the other way. Let's see if Jordan pulls up and takes the jumper. Yep. Saves it. Ron Harper. 9:35 to go opening quarter. In and out. Rodman tips it, got it. His first, he had 21 rebounds last night, equaling his season high. Here's Whittington. Put back from Rodman is good. He's got 2 rebounds and 2 points.
You know, I'm not so sure that Scotty didn't see Rodman wide open under the basket right there, but he couldn't make the feed to him. That might have been a pass off the backboard.
10-7 ball game, 9-13. Expect Magic Johnson to come in about the 7-minute mark. Divac on the line. Call made by Paul Mahaley. Second Los Angeles turnover, 3 for Chicago. And the Lakers up by 3. Pippen will stroll across the timeline. Alley-oop. Scottie Pippen wasn't quite there. That's 4 Chicago turnovers. Here's Sabalos. All the way. Offensive foul.
That's a good defensive play by Ron Harper, establishing position. He knows Cedric doesn't like to pass. He's read the scouting report. Cedric is one of the best in the league at finishing on the fast break.
Pippen, Rodman, Harper, Michael Jordan, and Whittington. As we said, Whittington with 14 points last night in his third start. This is his second start. This is his third. And there's his favorite shot.
That's their old triangle play. They set the guard pick on the center. Nobody switches out. Whittington shoots a wide open free throw.
And the Bulls cut it to 1, 10-9. Now Jordan has Van Exel. Off the dribble, Van Exel. Then off the glass.
Well, that's a mismatch on the perimeter. Van Exel's very quick off the dribble. Michael has a tough time defending the quicker point guards in the league.
Jordan with the miss. Vlade Divac has it. 3-on-3. Van Exel dishes left side. Sabalos. That's a 3.
Sabalos is only shooting 20%, Vern, from the 3-point line. But he's one of those kind of guys, he thinks he can make the next one every time. He's got no conscience.
He was unconscious here on Tuesday night, 15 of 18 from the field. Here's Pippen with a finger roll short. Campbell with the rebound, 2 on 3. Van Exel, beautiful. Oh, that was nice.
Van Exel looks like he got hit in the thigh. He got kneed in the thigh. Good play by Van Exel. There's Sabalos. He's the best in the league at finishing on those fast breaks.
A 7-0 run now by the Lakers. Here's Ron Harper. Quickly around the perimeter. Pippen for 3. Too strong. That's a nice tip by Rodman.
Yeah, and Divac had to rotate off of Rodman to go pick up Pippen, who was wide open at the 3-point line.
6-point game now. Sabalos over Pippen. Nope. Rodman with a rebound. That's 4 rebounds for Rodman. Now Jordan. Rodman finds Harper. They look for Pippen, low post. 10 on the shot clock. Jordan saves it. Now 5 on the shot clock. Foul before the shot. Sabalos. Magic Johnson is entering the game. His wife Cookie among those who stayed seated.
Well, the referees had to inbound the ball, otherwise that could have gone on for 20 minutes.
Right. Here's Wennington. Got another one. Rattles around and falls through.
You notice they put Magic on Wennington. They don't think that Wennington's going to try to take advantage of Magic down the low post.
Campbell gets the long rebound, kicks it back outside to Van Exel. Magic has it. Eldon Campbell. Whistle and a foul call on Bill Wennington, his second. And that's going to be serious for Chicago if he gets in trouble. The backup is 19-year veteran James Edwards.
And James Edwards can score offensively, but I don't know how many minutes he'll be able to play effectively. He hasn't played a lot this season. Just came off the injured list last game and played very limited minutes then.
Played 5 minutes last night. He was 3 of 3. There's James Edwards. Eldon Campbell at the free throw line.
James Edwards can still score, Vern. I'm sure we're going to see a little bit of him tonight, and they'll go to him in the low post.
Back to a 6-point game. Pippen brings it across the timeline. 18-game winning streak. Here's Jordan. Fadeaway jumper. Got it.
Oh, what an incredible shot. Right there, Eldon Campbell, a good shot blocker, was right in Michael's face as he faded away on the baseline.
Jordan has 4. Campbell. Wennington can't get his 3rd foul. It has to give way, and Campbell has it.
Chicago's going to have to come down and double up. That's the matchup LA is going to exploit the whole game if they allow it.
5.5 to go opening quarter. And a foul called on George Lynch, who's on the floor. Take a look at Jordan in that shot you talked about.
You know, Vern, what Michael does as compared to what Magic does, Michael takes so much more energy. Here he explodes to the basket, sees Campbell there, and just fades away from the 7-foot shot blocker. That's incredible.
Here's Jordan again. Pump fake.
Wow! And because he's hit his last 2 fadeaways, Eddie Jones has to respect it and gives up a dunk. That's why you have to live or die with Michael's fadeaway.
Now Jordan on Van Exel. Theo Van Exel tries to take him off the dribble again. They're going to run a little 2-man play. Here's Magic in the low post. The point power forward. And something we never see in the league except when he's back in uniform.
Well, Magic has got to earn the respect. The Bulls are not going to double team him. They think Rodman can handle him, and they're going to make him make a few of those before they double team him and let him become the passer.
There's the fadeaway again. In and out into the hands of Van Exel. from the corner. Air ball. Rodman with the rebound. Here comes Pippen running, but it's 1-on-4. Skip pass. Harper. Wennington with the rebound. Rodman calls for it. And the Bulls go to the half court.
Now we need to work on Magic's box-out drill right there. He let Wennington go right by him for that offensive board.
Here's Pippen. Yes. Well, you know, Magic this morning told us he's not in basketball shape at all.
He's not. You can tell he's not. He's breathing hard right now. He just a few times up and down the court. Plus, all the excitement and the emotion that's going into these first few games. I think once he gets over that, the game will come easier as well.
No double. They'll let Rodman take it. Or vice versa. Foul on Rodman. Magic said he's played him many times.
And these guys played in the final for 2 straight years in the late 80s. Right there, they need to stop that. They can't allow Dennis to do that. That's where fights break out with more frustration. Fortunately, Magic's a classy guy, and he's not going to start that stuff.
Anthony Peeler has come on the floor now, number 1 for the Lakers. So it's Peeler and Johnson, Van Exel, Campbell, and Eddie Jones. Again, no double. Now the double comes late from Harper. And the Lakers throw it away.
I think what the Lakers need to do when Magic's not being doubled is they still need to have movement on the perimeter. They're just standing and watching, hoping Magic gets doubled. But if he doesn't get doubled, they need to have slashes. Magic will find you.
Here's Pippen. Well, he could have pitched a tent in that three-point in the lane.
Well, Scotty, when he's hitting those threes and scoring on the inside, that's what people are saying. He's an MVP candidate. He's doing it all tonight so far.
Peeler at the other end. 3-point game once more. A steal. Eddie Jones. Oh, what a play. Anthony Peeler takes the jumper short. Johnson with a rebound. Loses it. Loose ball. Harper dives out of bounds. Lakers have it.
That was a good play by Magic. Magic is the one who stripped the ball out of Pippen's hands. Eddie Jones came up with it, made a spectacular play. Well, they're going to post up this Bill Wennington. He's got 2 fouls. And right here, everyone's staying at home with their man. Right here, there's no weak side help. It's just going to allow Wennington and Campbell to play one-on-one in the low post. Wennington's got 2 fouls, and Campbell's going to have a field day if they don't double down. And Vern, this sky hook by Magic, he beat us in the finals in '87 with that same shot. That's a lost art in basketball today.
Denzel Washington among those who is in attendance tonight. Van Exel, Johnson. Vlade Divac is back on the floor now for Eldon Campbell, Anthony Peeler, and Jones. Here's Magic Johnson. Rodman has him. There's the jump hook. Nope, too strong. Rodman with another rebound. He's got 6.
Good move by Magic.
Bulls have not led. Yet they trail by as many as 8 at the 3-point deficit right now. There's Rodman. Pippen with the empty pass to James Edwards, who can score, as you said.
That guy can do that shot. He can fade left, he can fade right, he can draw the fouls. He knows how to score. I just don't know how much he's got in those 39-year-old legs. I've been teasing him about it all week.
2:03 to go, first quarter, 25-24. There's Johnson, kicks it back outside to Van Exel. Now Peeler guarded by Harper. Jumper is short, rebound Peeler. Misses again, Rodman with his 7th rebound. And Chicago has a chance to take the lead for the first time tonight. Pippen calls for it in the low post. Chicago leads.
Well, Pippen, that's a tough mismatch for Eddie Johnson. He's a couple inches shorter than Pippen. Pippen is on a roll right now. He's very hot. They need to find some ways to shut him down or double team him, make him give the ball up.
Pippen, the first bull in double figures. Here's Divac taking a lesson from Magic Johnson, but he misses as well. A 9-2 Chicago run fueled by Scottie Pippen's 10 points in all. Harper looks for James Edwards. Peeler over his back. There's the slasher. Rodman with the putback. Nope. Here come the Lakers running, which they wanted to do tonight. Van Exel. Jones travels. Eddie Jones with the turnover. We've got less than a minute remaining before a sellout crowd at the Great Western Forum in Inglewood, California. First time Michael and Magic have been on the same floor since June 12, 1991. On that night, Magic Johnson had a triple-double, 20 assists. Michael Jordan had 32 points. The Bulls won it 108-102, and they won the NBA championship, their first of 3 in a row. Anthony Peeler with the foul.
Well, Scottie Pippen's off to a hot start here in the first quarter with 10 points. Del Harris countered by bringing Corey Blunt, a little bigger body than Eddie Jones and Cedric Ceballos, try to cool him down.
And Steve Kerr comes on the floor now for the Chicago Bulls. Kerr with 14 points last night to go with 17 he had on Tuesday night in the win over Houston.
He's really been shooting the ball well from the three-point line.
Jordan. Michael has 8. And the Bulls are up by 3. And Jordan settles in defensively against Anthony Peeler and gets the steal. He's 4th in the league in steals among everything else he's doing. Corey Blunt. Well, the Bulls are just going to take their time, and they'll begin to play with 7 seconds to go on the shot clock. Double. That's not going to go. Shot clock violation.
Well, Buddha that time. It takes him a long time to shoot that fadeaway shot. Just took him a little too long. It was a good executed play. You know he's going to make that shot.
Divac will inbound. Ultimately. And James Edwards will defend it. Van Exel.
You know, you got to love guys that shoot that. There's so many guys in the league that don't even try that because they're afraid of ruining their field goal percentage. But if you want to win, you got to shoot those. A lot of guys make these. I've seen hundreds of shots made throughout my career. That's beautiful.
Bombs away.
Well, they're different kinds of players. They really can't compare their statistics. The key is they're 6 and 6.
1991. Here's Magic, guarded by Rodman. And a foul away from the ball.
Well, we're going to see, Vern, right here they've decided to go with Judd Bushler off the bench instead of Tony Kukoc. Done with a smaller lineup, and Judd's going to try to handle Ceballos.
And Bushler picks up the foul, first of the quarter. Rodman with 9 already. Lakers, not a strong rebounding team. They've been out-rebounded on a per-game basis by about 3. Here's Divac. Fights with James Edwards. Hook is a little too strong, and Rodman's in double digits with rebounds. He's got 10.
He loves playing in L.A. He talked all year last year about being a free agent at the end of this year and playing for the Lakers and starting his movie career.
Well, he's got a heck of a time to audition. Here's Bushler to Kerr, a couple of Arizona grads. Nice pass. The tip is up and good from Rodman.
Oh, he's having a great game. Someone's got to keep him off the board. But Pippen is drawing so much attention that they have to leave him to help out, and Rodman's getting every tip in.
Points from Dennis are a bonus. He's got 6 so far to go with his 10 rebounds. Here's Magic Johnson. Pippen makes a wave at a double team. 7 on the shot clock. Left-handed jump hook. Got it.
Well, Magic is determined to earn the respect. He wants all the NBA teams watching him. You guys got to double me, because he'd rather pass in that situation than have to score. So Chicago's playing good, and that's a good strategy against Magic.
Pippen. Well.
He's too good, Bird.
Bulls up by 3 again. Magic Johnson backs in, rejected by Pippen. Peeler saves it. From the corner, Ceballos.
The guys are rising to the occasion for this game. What an excellent block by Scottie Pippen. Unfortunately, went right into the hands of Ceballos. Again, only shooting 20%. Knocks down 2 in a row.
Lakers are 4 of 4 on three-point shots so far in the game, including that rainbow from Van Exel at the end of the quarter. Bushler. Here's James Edwards. There's the fadeaway. Got it again.
Boy, that's not bad defense by the Lakers. There's not a lot you can do when a 7-footer shooting fadeaway.
Johnson with the elbow. Foul on James Edwards. Let's go back and take a look at Magic.
Well, they're going to live or die with this. They're just trying. Rodman's just trying to body him as much as he can. Magic executes, hits a good shot. He tries to do the same thing, coming with his right hand, and he gets by Rodman, but Ceballos had brought Pippen under the baseline, enabled him to block that shot.
Curve. Has Sadeo 3, who's on the floor now. And there's Anthony Peeler. James Edwards with the rebound. Chicago will run. Here's Pippen. Wow. 15 points and the steal from Kerr. Bushler. Rodman.
Are they any good? Yeah, that's good defense. That was a horrible pass by Magic, taking the ball out of bounds and throwing it without looking up here. That's not like Magic, and he knows it. Have an advantage. When you don't have an advantage, you execute your offense.
Check the lineups now. Sadeo 3, Campbell, Eddie Jones, Divac, and Ceballos on the floor for the Lakers. Dickie Simpkins has come on the floor for the Chicago Bulls, and there's another Laker turnover. So it's Simpkins and Kerr, Scottie Pippen, Michael Jordan, and James Edwards on the floor for Chicago.
Well, the Lakers need to get Vlade Divac involved in the offense. He's had a few opportunities and hasn't made them pay. He needs to make them pay.
Edwards got another one. The lead is 8. Sadeo 3. His minutes have decreased in the last dozen games or so, and he's only averaging 5.5 points over that period of time. 8:25 to go before halftime. The Bulls are 6 of 8 in the second period now after that miss. Here's Sadeo 3.
And that ball bounced to the ground. They did a good job of boxing out, but then again, they didn't have Dennis Rodman in there to box out.
And Magic gets a rest now as well. Back it goes to 3. Ceballos.
3 in a row, Vern.
11 points for Cedric Ceballos. The lead is 5, 41-36. Lakers at 25 and 18. They've won 8 of their last 9. Their last defeat was at home against Cleveland on the 20th. Here's the turnaround. That one would have counted. Chased down by Sadeo 3. .25 to go. First half of play. Campbell backs in and jump hook too strong. Pippen with a rebound. That's his first rebound tonight. Pulls up and takes the 3. Jordan.
That's spectacular. Scottie Pippen finally misses a shot. There's another offensive rebound. The Bulls are killing the Lakers on the offensive board and second chance points so far in this game.
Remember last Tuesday night against Houston? Same thing. There's Pippen with a near steal. And it's going to be off Divac. Judd Bushler comes back on the floor, and they're going to give Scottie Pippen a rest. San Antonio wins tonight, and Cleveland in the game you saw earlier tonight.
Another great player making his comeback tonight, Danny Manning for Phoenix.
Right. Well, you and I get to continue the Chicago victory tour in Phoenix next Tuesday night. It's been like a coronation for them on the road this year.
I'm telling you, Vern, it's the Beatles.
Listen, with all that's going on here tonight, if Elvis is not here, Lisa Marie's got to be. Here's Jones.
Elvis is here. He's wearing number 23 in red right there.
Right. Vancouver leading New Jersey and Golden State over Toronto, the 2 expansion teams in action tonight. Simpkins back out to Kerr. Jordan is being shadowed by Eddie Jones. That's for a pass. And the foul.
Well, that's a patent in Michael move. He starts backing his man down. He sees the double coming from the top. He spins away from the double team. Right here, he knows the double team. Savalas is coming over. He wants the shot. Campbell, it takes 3 guys to defend him. That was a pretty good shot block right there by Campbell.
Foul is called on Campbell. Magic Johnson back off the bench. 10 minutes thus far in the first half. And Simpkins, who's a 60% free throw shooter, gives you an example of why.
Well, the Lakers need to make a run right here and get back in this game with Scottie Pippen taking a rest. He has been the killer for them tonight.
An over for Simpkins. And here comes Nick Van Exel. He's joined now by Magic Johnson, Campbell, Savalas, and Jones. So the starting 5, with the exception of Johnson, on the floor now. Well, Divac is getting a rest. He was one of the starters. There's Campbell. Knocked away by James Edwards. Kerr has it. Bushler, touch pass. Dickie Simpkins. Jordan guarded by Eddie Jones. Right corner. No. Offensive board again, Danny.
They're not boxing out. That wasn't a bad bounce. The Magic should have had that ball. He needs to put a body on Simpkins. He can't jump like he used to jump.
9 offensive rebounds for Chicago. Bushler in the corner. 5 on the shot clock. Simpkins to Jordan. Taken away by Savalas. Here's Van Exel. Kerr had position, and there's a no call. Are you kidding me?
Well, that was good defense by Kerr.
At the other end, Michael Jordan has 12 points.
But Michael just goes through the whole defense right here. Magic and Campbell back away. They got to contest that. They got to either put him on the free throw line or contest it. He goes through all 3 guys right there. Campbell looks like he jumps away from it.
Scottie Pippen got a brief rest. He's going to come back on for Bushler. Bill Wennington, who picked up 2 quick fouls, is also going to re-enter the game.
Well, James Edwards is getting tired, but he did an excellent job. Divac and Campbell have yet to score on him in the low post, and he was able to get 6 points at the other end.
Again, if you did join us late, Luke Longley is on the injured list. And Tony Kukoc unavailable to play tonight because of the sprained knee. Johnson puts it. Looked like the shot at the All-Star game.
Yeah, you know, that was the part of the game he wasn't satisfied with in the first game. He said he needed me to come back for him to shoot those threes for him, but I've seen Magic shoot those threes, and he can really nail them when he gets hot.
Listen, he gave you a shot 2 hours before the game, and you blew it.
I know it. Hey, I'm not ready yet, Vern. I told him I need to wait until May to come back.
Van Exel. Johnson. Van Exel pulls up and takes it off the mark. Rodman is battling for the rebound and gets it. 12 rebounds for Rodman. We've still got 4 to go before halftime. Campbell has this ball. Lakers love to run. Savalas loves to shoot. Rodman loves to rebound.
He's been on the court for 20 seconds and got 2 more rebounds.
Boy, he's got to consider this a perfect world tonight.
Well, right now, the Lakers just aren't as executing as well on the fast break as the Chicago.
I could have bought a house. and I probably pissed off about 5, 6, 7 people because I blocked them in with my van. So if the black van's mine, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
All righty. Well, we're going to take you right back. Hey, Vern, take it away.
Okay, Cheryl, that'll only cost Sinbad $85 to get it out of the pound. Here's Johnson, Savalas for 3. Rodman, my gracious, 14 rebounds.
He's having a fun time out there. There's a lot of rebounds to be had right now. A lot of perimeter shots by the Lakers.
Rodman also has chipped in with 8 points, equaling his season high. No, beg your pardon, he had 12 earlier. Here's Jordan. Another offensive board for the Bulls. Scottie Pippen. That's 10 offensive rebounds. And we've still got 2:50 to go in the first half. Double comes from Van Exel. And they're going to call the offensive foul on Michael.
Yeah, that was good. That was a good call by the official. Michael has a tendency to do that on occasion. Usually gets away with it. Good defense by Eddie Jones right there. But the reason Pippen got that offensive rebound was because it took two guys to try to box out Rodman.
Lead is at 8. The largest Los Angeles lead was also at 8. That was 17-9. And Pippen and Rodman kind of took things over. Here's Magic Johnson. This time Wennington does come to help. That leaves Eddie Jones as the open man, and it leaves Rodman with his 15th rebound. 1-5. Well, he passes on the shot. I thought he might take it. Wennington bounce pass. Jordan. Loose ball. Campbell. Jump ball. Campbell and Pippen.
Vern Rodman's not going to take that shot. He wants the rebound.
You're right.
He's on a pace to get 50 tonight.
15 already.
He knows he has a lot of rebounds as well. He's not going to get involved in the rotations, and he's not going to shoot any on the perimeter. He's going straight to the boards tonight.
Eddie Jones will sit down, and Anthony Peeler comes on. 2:12 to go before halftime. That one's going to be off Sabala, so Chicago will control it. (47-39). Kerr, Vlade. Tippin has 17 so far. Wennington put a patent on it.
Well, they double-team Scotty, and that's a layup for Wennington. That's the best part of his game. That's how he stayed in the league, shooting that 15-foot jumper. You can't concede that. Someone has to rotate out of the double team to stop Wennington.
First double-digit lead of the night. It belongs to the Bulls. A 16-6 Chicago run. Campbell goes to his right and takes the left-handed shot, and Michael Jordan brings it down. Here's the pass to Pippen. Back to Kerr. And he takes the jumper. Got it. That's for 2.
And that's why Kerr's in the league. Like Wennington, they can shoot those outside shots. Kerr has been very patient. He's been on the court the entire second quarter.
Coming up on the Reebok halftime report, Magic's good friend Reggie Theus is back with Ernie Johnson in our Atlanta studios. Wennington gets his 3rd foul. I congratulated Bill tonight on him being the stellar attraction and getting these stars out here. I may have to take that back. James Edwards is going to amble on for Bill Wennington.
Well, this doesn't hurt him too bad. James Edwards had an excellent first half so far, scoring the low post, playing good post defense. Campbell and Divac, they need some scoring out of them. That's where they thought they had the advantage going into this game, and they haven't produced yet.
Divac zipped tonight. Pippen overplays him. There's Divac, the double from Jordan. That leaves Peter open. And that's going to be Chicago ball.
Well, now we just said Divac hasn't produced, but he did his job right there. He was very patient, got the ball in the low post. The double team came because Pippen was defending him. They had a mismatch. Anthony Peeler needs to knock those down and make them pay.
Lakers got off to such a wonderful start in the game. They hit 9 of their first 11 field goals. They're 4 of 16 in the second quarter. So they've gone chilly. Might as well be in Omaha.
Boy, Peeler got beat baseline bad that time by Michael. Michael was getting their pick and roll set for him. Peeler took his eye off of Michael. When you're defending Michael Jordan, or Elvis as we call him, you can't take your eye off him. He's looking for the pick. Michael beats him baseline.
Not in the bonus yet. 39 seconds remaining in the half. Pippen for 3.
You know, the game just is too easy for these guys right now, Vern.
20 first half points for Scottie Pippen. 15 first half rebounds for Dennis Rodman. Michael Jordan has been an acolyte so far in the first half. Divac gets his first of the night.
Well, they're going to play for the last shot. Magic is guarding Scotty. Scotty's going to try to take Magic off the dribble. Try to beat him, penetrate, and hit Kerr or Michael for an open shot.
Here comes the trap with Divac. 3 to go. Rodman kicked out. 4/10 of a second remaining.
Good defense by the Lakers right there. They left Dennis Rodman open at 15 feet that time. Tried to make Dennis make a play instead of Scotty.
Rodman will inbound. 20-second timeout.
Quarterback, though.
Rodman, Ceballos, Divac, Campbell, and Eddie Jones on the floor as we start the third quarter. Takes his crowd a little while to sit down.
Yes, it does.
There's a lot of mingling that goes on here, you notice? And Pippen goes into some of the minglers. That's the photographer's row. Scotty makes sure they're okay, and he is as well. This may be the world capital of... Who is that? Michael Jordan? Tippin. It's deadly.
The game is easy when you're hitting those outside shots. Michael just penetrates. He sees the double team coming and just finds the open man. And Scotty's been making him pay all night.
Well, he came in hitting 44% from three-point range. He's a cool 5 of 6 tonight. At the other end, here's Rodman with another rebound. That's 17, beg pardon. Rodman may be going to the stratosphere tonight. His season high is 21. He's hit that a couple of times, most recently last night. Jordan, nice pass to Wellington. An equally nice block for Divac, but they call him for the foul.
Well, Michael just broke the defense down again. They're so concerned about trying to stop Michael. They're running 2 guys at him. Whittington was left open. Michael beats Eddie Jones. Campbell has to come over. Divac comes over. Pretty good block by Divac. Gets called for the foul.
Wellington, who is hitting 94%, though he hasn't been at the line all that many times this season. And the first. Bill, really a very good complementary player for the Chicago Bulls. Understands his role perfectly.
Well, even at St. John's, Burns, he was a good outside shooter, and he just brought that game with him, and he's just accepted his role, hits the open shot, plays good hard defense, uses his fouls, and has been a very important part of this Bulls team.
Faces Bill. Yeah, it helps. Here's Divac, guarded by Rodman. The double comes from Pippen. 5 on the shot clock. Van Exel off the dribble, dishes. Campbell, nice play.
Well, that's a good drive by Van Exel. They doubled down on Divac. He had to give the ball up instead of settling for the outside shot. He took it to the basket, penetrated against Chicago's defense. And I think that's what more teams have to do. I think that's where Chicago's vulnerable because they don't have a shot blocker.
Jordan. Here's Van Exel, goes by Jordan. And draws the foul. That's the second on Michael Jordan.
Well, the Lakers need Eddie Jones or Van Exel or somebody to really step it up. And those guys can get hot and carry the team, particularly Van Exel. He can get hot and carry this team. He's done it on many nights. And they need somebody to do that right.
He did it in the playoffs, of course, last year, memorably against Seattle. Got off to a slow start this season, but has been playing very well of late. Here's Campbell. Got the pass underneath. Divac, no. Rodman with another rebound. 18. Wellington. Divac wisely spaced. The shot is missed. And the Lakers try and get it. It'll be Chicago ball.
Michael got away with a push on Van Exel. Van Exel had position on him. Michael pulled him away. And that's why Van Exel's arguing. He got a technical foul on it.
Del Harris picks up the tee. Jordan takes the technical. And Pippen will inbound. Wellington. Got it. 61-43. This one is in danger of getting away from the Lakers. Van Exel by Jordan. Went in the air, didn't know quite where he wanted to go with it. Turnover. Chicago ball.
Well, we knew that this would be a big test for Golden State. This is different than Golden State. The Bulls, obviously, they're playing a lot different defense. They've only scored 43 points in this game. They had 43 points in the first quarter last game.
Right, they had 72 at the half against Golden State. Rodman guarded by Campbell. Dennis may be going for a double-digit night of scoring the ball tonight. He has one triple-double this season, believe it or not. Everything is going my way. Right.
They just can't keep him off the boards. They're just too athletic, too active on the boards for the Lakers right now.
Timeout.
So when you set everything aside, man, best passing, best defense, you already know what they got on offense. I don't need to tell you that Michael Jordan is the best player in the world. Scottie Pippen is the best all-around player in basketball. Then you got the best rebounder. Goodness gracious, what up? I mean, man, you know, they should be 39 and whatever. You know, I mean, these guys, though, what I see in their faces is that they want to win, and they know how to play their role. It's like the great Celtics team when I played against Danny and Larry. You know, the Laker teams, that same thing, the eye of the tiger. We know we're good. We know we're the best.
And tonight, the Bulls are proving it. They're up by 20. That was a 24-second shot clock violation a moment ago against Los Angeles. Here's Jordan. Eddie Jones with a defensive job. Campbell comes in the double team, and that's Wennington in the corner. He's got 11 points. Had 14 last night. Bill started the first game of the season when Luke Longley was sitting out of suspension, and then he's had back-to-back starts now the last 2 nights. Sabalo's taken down hard.
Hey, that's the difference right now between the Bulls' attitude right now. Sabalos goes in for a dunk, and he has to go to the free throw line, get up off his back, and shoot 2 free throws. Michael Jordan goes in for a lay-in. He cruises on in and lays it in off the glass.
11-2 Chicago run in this quarter. They allowed the Lakers only 13 points in the second quarter. The former vice president of the Los Angeles. Oh, did he retain his title? I don't guess he did.
No, I don't think so. I think he's vice president of the team.
Right. And of course, had to give his, didn't give it back. He sold his 5% of the team back.
He's vice coach, vice captain. Still star player of the team.
.7:52 to go. Third quarter of play. Tippin. Unstoppable tonight.
Yeah, and Scotty says when he gets it going, he is unstoppable. And that's good defense by Sabalos. You got to play Scotty for the drive first, and he's got it going from the outside tonight. And on those kind of nights, he can't be stopped.
27 points thus far for Scottie Pippen. Eldon Campbell. Michael Jordan goaltending. Magic Johnson getting ready to come back on the floor. George Lynch also getting ready to come in for the Lakers.
Lakers are going to try to change things up here. They've gone to their half-court trap. Chicago's a very good passing team. They got a mismatch. They got Divac on Jordan.
Wennington from Jordan. Off the backboard, Rodman doesn't get the rebound. We're in the third quarter from the Great Western Forum. 7:05 remaining in the third quarter. Lynch and Magic Johnson come on the floor now for the LA Lakers. They were held to 13 points in the second quarter, tied at 28 at the end of one, but a 13-point halftime lead, and right now it's a 20-point lead for the Chicago Bulls, who come into the game 40-3. Van Exel gets 2.
Well, Van Exel got undercut on that shot, too. Wasn't very happy. Thought he should have gone to the line. And the officials might have given it to him had the ball not gone in.
Jordan pick and roll with Wennington. Scottie Pippen. Johnson thinks about the three. Rodman comes out to contest it. Now Magic Johnson.
Oh!
That was Wennington doing the defensive work. Campbell gets the putback.
Well, that was a good play by Magic. He couldn't get to the offensive rebound. He intentionally tipped that ball to Eldon Campbell for the easy dunk.
Jordan again. Crowd looking for a reason to get back into it. Lakers have scored 4 now. Pippen guarded by Lynch. Campbell, 3-on-1. Harper's back. Eddie Jones from Van Exel.
Beautiful play by Van Exel. They knew Harper was back, and he was going to try to foul whoever got there. Van Exel made a look away, made the easy feed to Eddie Jones for the dunk.
Michael Jordan has it. Gets the pitch from Wennington. That leaves him open. Back to Harper. Pippen fighting for position. Gets the pass. Foul called on George Lynch.
Well, that's the second time the Lakers have done that. They had Scotty would have caught the ball 25 feet away from the basket with 4 seconds left on the shot clock. You can't afford those kind of fouls.
Steve Kerr is going to check back in for Ron Harper now for Phil Jackson.
Well, this just makes it more difficult to double. Right now, they're doubling Michael on the pick and rolls, rotating to Wennington. And with Steve Kerr out there, that's just another guy you can't leave.
Chicago has won 8 in a row on the road. Last defeat for them day after Christmas in Indiana. Jordan gets 2 more.
And just because Steve Kerr was out there at the top of the key, Van Exel was not going to leave him. He was going to make Michael shoot that shot.
Lead us back to 16. Johnson guarded by Rodman. Magic Johnson has played 18 minutes tonight. He's got 7 points thus far. Lynch, no. Rodman, another rebound. 19. Van Exel picks up Kerr. And here's Jordan posting up. Van Exel backs away from Kerr, trying to help out. The double come from Magic, and he's a little tardy getting there. Eddie Jones, 3-on-3. Van Exel, the jumper.
Well, Dennis isn't happy about that. He had perfect rebounding position, and Michael out-jumped him for the ball.
You were reading my mind. He tried to look like it was okay, but you can tell it wasn't. Wennington. Pippen. Oh, no! Highlight reel. Play it again, Sam.
It's been one of those nights for Scotty. He's throwing everything in the basket tonight. That was incredible.
My goodness. At the other end, here's Wennington with the rebound of Eddie Jones' missed shot. An absolutely blind shot by Scottie Pippen goes in.
Vern, those are just demoralizing. You play good defense, you're making a little run, and the guy throws in shots like that.
And then misses shots like that. Magic. All the way. No, Trump with a shot. Pippen with a rebound. Kerr calls for it. 2-on-2. Jordan. Over Campbell.
Well, I don't know what Eldon Campbell was doing right there. He had to come out and defend Michael. He didn't guard anybody. He didn't guard the basket, and he didn't guard Michael. Let Michael shoot a wide-open 12-foot jump shot.
Jordan now has 17 to complement Pippen's 27. For 3.
That's going to be tough. That's going to open the game up as this season goes along for Nick Van Exel. You can't double-team Van Exel and leave Magic wide open for 3s.
Pippen. Oh, Scotty wants it. You can just tell. Jordan over the back foul on Eddie Jones. Well, let's take another look at Scottie Pippen. And that shot.
Well, it's good defense. You can tell Scotty's just being so aggressive on offense. He takes it in, double team, tries to draw the foul, throws the ball with his left hand. Rodman leaves the double team Van Exel. Nobody rotates out to Magic. And if he keeps making those, scoring on the low post like he's been doing, he's going to open up a lot for this Laker team. But it's going to take some time, Vern, for this team to get a feel for each other.
How about that pass? Jordan finds James James Edwards.
Well, that's about the fourth time tonight that they've come to double team, and he just goes away from the double team. You can't allow him to go away from where you're getting help.
Michael now has 6 assists for the night. Back to Magic. Off the dribble by Rodman. Short. Rodman has 20 rebounds. Scottie Pippen will shoot free throws.
This is a good read by Magic. He catches the ball out at the three-point line. And he just gives a little head fake, which was the right decision. And he looks like he's thinking about passing. And then nobody's open. He realizes he has to shoot. That's just from coming with playing with your teammates, knowing what they're going to do to get open.
One of the rare misfires for Scottie Pippen tonight. Utah beat the Clippers earlier. Cleveland in a romp over Phoenix. San Antonio over Minnesota. Orlando won tonight over Atlanta. And Washington defeats Portland. Kerr, Pippen, Rodman, James Edwards, and Ron Harper now as Michael Jordan gets a rest. Scottie Pippen has 30 for the night. Foul on James Edwards. Well, the Bulls this season, 107 points per game, that's first. Point differential is about 12.5. First in three-point percentage. Opponent's field goal percentage. I guess there are reasons why they're 40 and 3.
And Vern, one big difference from last year with the addition of Rodman, they're second in rebound margin. Fourth in total rebounds, but rebounds per game margin, they're second. With all those other offensive categories, that's exactly what Magic was talking about.
Ron Harper. All the way up and in. We near the final minute of the third quarter. Chicago took control of this with a strong second quarter during which the Lakers scored only 13 points. And they have maintained that command here in the third quarter despite an 8-0 run at one point by the Lakers. Judd Bushler is going to come back on now. Scottie Pippen will get a rest.
You know, the Lakers' game plan was to go inside, and they're still sticking with that game plan. The problem with that is it takes a long time each possession to score if you're playing that style of basketball. I think they've been mesmerized by the matchups on the inside, and the outside guys have gotten away from the strengths of their game. They've just gone inside, let them pound the ball, stand on the perimeter, and watch, and live or die by the outside shot.
Campbell gets the first motion.
A lot of teams are getting mesmerized by that. This year, Vern, just the inside-outside game with that new three-point line, I think in some ways it makes the game boring because so many teams just go inside and just spot up on the outside.
You now have a platform. You may continue your campaign to get that thing moved back out. We will persist in this.
I want to see the Van Exels and Eddie Jones drive to the basket and create. Like this guy right here, dribbling the ball up the court.
Rodman smiling as he trails him down the field, the court. And there's Van Exel missing with the runner. 20 seconds to go in the quarter. Shot clock off. Kerr shadowed by Van Exel. Anthony Peeler almost had the steal. Bushler in and out. The tip is good. Rodman with a rebound that equals his season high of 21 rebounds, and he also goes into double digits with 10 points. And Scottie Pippen, 30 points, 12 of 21 from the field. As we begin the fourth, it's Michael Jordan back on the floor, James Edwards, Steve Kerr, here's Michael, Ron Harper. That was Magic. Nope. Beg your pardon, it was Elvin. Well, let me try it one more time. It was Corey Blunt.
Well, Corey Blunt was traded over here to the Lakers, and he has something to prove to the Chicago fans and the Chicago team. He wants to play well here in the fourth quarter.
Blunt has it right now. Lynch. Back to Peeler as the shot clock goes off. Shot clock violation denying Rodman his 22nd rebound. He's going to go over and ask for a recount.
He's telling the refs right there. That hit the rim. That hit the rim.
I don't think he's going to have any problem getting number 22 before the night's over.
Can you believe Rodman didn't make the All-Star team?
No.
I thought they did a pretty good job of picking the players. There's a few players that have some complaints. Cliff Robinson in Portland, Strickland in Portland, Sabalos, but I don't think any of them have as strong a complaint as Rodman.
Rodman leading the league in rebounds, 14.7 per game. Here's Sabalos coming back on. Cedric played for the All-Stars last year. Rodman left off. He was a little upset by it, too.
Yeah, justifiably so. He deserved to be on it. And, you know, whether you like him or not, you know, you hate to see it get involved with that, the politics of it. Hopefully the guys are selected on the merits of what they do on the basketball court alone.
Ron Harper gets those two. It's a 23-point lead. 10.5 to go. Peeler got it.
Well, Magic's playing point guard, offensively and defensively right now.
Del Harris told us this afternoon he didn't want that to happen. He said it might tonight, but in terms of the season, that's not where he thinks Magic is going to contribute the most. Edwards, everything is going the way of the ball.
James Edwards is an excellent low-post player, and I was teasing him last week when he was on the injured list of why he wasn't playing and was he injured. He says, I'm just old, but I'm saving it for the home stretch.
Well, this is the second really long West Coast road trip for the Bulls this year. Here's Corey Blunt. Nope, Rodman got his 22nd rebound. That is a new season high. Jordan brings it back outside. On their previous, here's Kerr.
Steve Kerr's been shooting the ball so good from the three-point line. Magic was backed off in 4 feet. He hasn't shot a three all night, so he says, what the heck?
Players. In the game today, you rarely see 3 defensive players on the same team. These guys all play so well. I'm talking about obviously Michael, Scotty, and Dennis. And they're tenacious. They've done an absolutely wonderful job. I think they're going to win 70-some games. I really do.
Where would you rank this team as far as the great teams that have played in the NBA?
Well, you know, it's really hard to tell because no one's even challenging them. In this league today, there's only a few teams can challenge them. And I think in the past there might be a few more teams, but you can't demean what they've accomplished. This is a wonderful team, and as I say, they're terrific because they play so hard. They're fun to watch play. They've got a much older team than us, and they just absolutely killed us with their energy tonight.
What were your thoughts after Magic's game against Golden State?
Well, I was really excited for him because, you know, he's a wonderful player, and some of the things that he does out there, you're hopeful it will help some of our younger players. But, you know, his timing's a little bit off, but he's going to be a great impact player for us before the year's over.
All right, thanks a lot, Jerry. Let's go back to you, Vern, Danny.
Okay, Cheryl, you'd think with all that Jerry had accomplished here in the position he holds with the Lakers, he'd get better seats. Well, the Bulls 40-3. That is an NBA record. Most wins for a team with 3 defeats. They set the record last night when the win over Sacramento. The Lakers went on to win 69 games and the championship in 71-72.
Vern, I'm becoming a believer of that 70-game thing. I mean, it's getting there. When they come on the road after winning so many games in the road and beat Houston, Sacramento, who's had a great year this year, and the Lakers with all the hype here without Kukoc and Longley, that's very impressive.
Sabalos gets that one for the Lakers.
And Jerry West said an interesting thing, too, about the energy level. Not only are these guys older, they played a game last night, and they're on the road. These guys haven't played for 3 days, the Lakers. That's where they should be winning the game, is the hustle and the energy.
Well, here's something. They're 23-2 in back-to-back games this year, but the 2 defeats have come in the first games of back-to-backs. Gurr fouls Van Exel. No basket. Well, coming up Sunday, more exciting NBA action. NBC will have a doubleheader for you, 1 o'clock Eastern. The New York Knicks against Indiana, and in Game 2, San Antonio against Orlando.
Well, I think TV is going to allow Magic to take some time now and get his game ready. I think this Laker team is going to be a team to contend with. I don't know if they're necessarily the favorites yet, But if they can put it together with the addition of Magic, they have a chance to contend for the West.
Look at Michael chase down the loose ball after Edwards missed. 7:20 to go in this one. Seats are still full. And Edwards fills it up again.
He can still score. He needs to play for at least 5 games until Longley comes back, and then he can go back in his rocking chair and wait for the playoffs.
Magic foul. Michael fouled him and goes over to help him up.
You can see Magic has played well down the stretch here, but he's been playing this point guard in this fourth quarter, and he looks a little bit more comfortable out there on the perimeter directing the team than he does playing in the low post, although he's been very successful in the low post as well.
Jordan, who's an 85% career free throw shooter, is at the line. Said he was disappointed in himself the other night. He missed a free throw.
Yeah, that's great. You know, free throws are such an underrated aspect of the game. And, you know, Portland Trailblazers are about a 500 club right now, 1 or 2 games under, I believe. But, you know, if they can shoot free throws, they may be 6 or 7 games over 500. Magic missed another one. It could be fatigue, though, tonight.
Well, the Bulls continue this road trip. They go to Denver tonight, immediately after the game, and take on Denver on Sunday. Then they're down to Phoenix on Tuesday night on TNT. Danny and I will be there. And then they round up the road trip before the All-Star break on Wednesday night at Golden State.
That Tuesday night game, Vern, will be good. Phoenix is playing a lot better basketball. Danny Manning is back. KJ's playing great. Yeah, they struggled tonight. But Phoenix is a team. I would hate to play the Lakers or Phoenix in the first round of the playoffs if I had a 55 or 60 winning season like Seattle or San Antonio.
Jordan over Sabalos. Nope. Rodman wrestled for it. Didn't get it. He's angry.
Well, he's telling the official he had control of that.
Right.
Give me a rebound and a turnover.
He's had a wonderful night tonight.
Yes, he has.
6:15 to go. Rodman has 23 rebounds. The Lakers have 23 rebounds. That's impressive.
Well, Magic touched on it a little bit earlier, but one thing that's unique about the 3 superstars that Chicago has is they all come to play every night. From the opening tip for the entire game they're on the court. Right now, they're ahead by 23 points, and they're still playing. They're still beating them to the loose balls. They're still playing with more energy.
Kerr takes the jumper. Offensive basket interference.
You know, Ron Harper, a lot of people compared him to Drexler and Michael Jordan when he came out of this league. He had some knee problems, but he's showing his athletic ability. He's great in the open court, and he can do this kind of thing. Come up and make long tip-ins, get up above all the big guys. He's a very athletic guy, and he's just playing a role. He doesn't get a chance to do the things that those other guys are doing, and he's sacrificing for the benefit of the team.
At the other end, Nick Van Exel got the basket. Edwards back to Rodman. Kerr. He's got 7 tonight. He's been in double digits each of the last two games. Magic to 3. Sabalos fights for the rebound and gets it away from Rodman.
Rodman doesn't like that. Good play by Sabalos. Sabalos is an excellent rebounder. Has over 300 rebounds on the season. Very good offensive rebounder.
17 points for Cedric Sabalos. Rodman to Kerr. Bushler and Randy Brown getting ready to come in. Sadale Freet will come in for the Lakers. Harper. Eldon Campbell for Los Angeles. We've got 4:45 remaining in this one. 10 rebounds now for Eldon Campbell. Van Exel goes up, gets rid of it, and Sabalos puts it in.
Well, Van Exel's lucky he didn't get called for the foul right there. I think the officials, had it not been a 20-point lead, would have called the foul on Van Exel.
Eddie Jones gets James Edwards. Now Sadale Freet will replace Van Exel. And for Chicago, Bushler and Randy Brown replace Michael Jordan and Ron Harper. That might be it for Michael Jordan. 17 points.
You know, you can't even evaluate Michael's performances on stats, Vern, because he draws so much attention. Scottie Pippen was shooting wide open threes out there for a while tonight. Dennis Rodman getting wide open offensive rebounds because Michael demands so much attention on the court.
Rodman gets the rest with 10 points and 23 rebounds, a season high.
And he's not happy, Vern. He wants more rebounds. He wants to keep playing.
Eldon Campbell. Bushler with the steal. 18 turnovers for Los Angeles. The Lakers are at home Sunday against Utah. A Utah team that is in a virtual tie with Houston and San Antonio for the Midwest Division lead. Kerr. Beautiful.
Oh, you don't see Steve Kerr do that often. Beautiful crossover a la Tim Hardaway right there. Makes the Ballers look bad on defense.
21-point lead. And now the Who Are They's are leading. Magic Johnson now with 15 points.
Vern, Magic hasn't been as impressive as he was the other night, I think simply because Chicago's defense really rose to the occasion of this game, and they're playing so good. But he still has been very impressive. Excellent in the low post. Dennis Rodman, one of the best defensive low post players, has not been able to stop Magic down there one-on-one. So when they get their chemistry and figure out who they are, and everybody starts playing well, this team will be tough.
That was Jason Caffey with the last basket. Here comes Kerr. Caffey to his left. Randy Brown, who doesn't score much, gets 2 tonight. So Randy Brown in the ledger, 97-74. How about this LA team scored 128 the other night against Golden State, and they're going to struggle to get to 80 tonight. Carlos says 21.
That just goes to show you that defense. I mean, a lot of it is the Lakers. They don't know each other. The chemistry's not quite there, but you got to give credit to the incredible. You know, Vern, I don't think he's necessarily talking about the tempo of the game as much as how the intensity level of guys picking you up full court and banging you. Everything goes so much harder. In that first game back, Magic had those impressive stats, but that was like a game he was playing on the tour that he's been doing, or the Washington Generals I thought he was playing the other night.
Bring out Red Clot. Well, Magic, 27 minutes in his first game on Tuesday night, 32 minutes tonight. 3 assists, 3 rebounds. You saw the points. Michael Jordan gets 17 points tonight. He played a complementary role to Rodman and Pippen. And then really good point production from Wennington and Edwards at the center spot, with Luke Longley and Tony Kukoc unavailable. There's the ball. Well, just think of what Chicago is about to accomplish now. They're going to go 19-3 on the road. 19-3. That's a home record most teams would be envious of.
Vern, I mean, it really is amazing. And we talked a lot about the watered-down league, but these are good teams they're beating. Sacramento's a good team. Houston's a good team they're beating on the road. And the 3 games they've lost are also really good teams on the road in San Antonio, Orlando, and Indiana.
Shot clock violation. Simpkins can't quite get it. Steve Kerr is limping. Steve Kerr has injured an ankle.
He's in a lot of pain. You know, this is the only thing that could stop Chicago from winning 70 games, in my opinion, is injuries. You could get by with the little ankle sprains for a few days. Kukoc just doesn't look too bad. It looks like he'll be back in a few days. But this will hurt him if they lose Steve Kerr.
Big time. There's Tony Kukoc, who is out for tonight's game.
Sinbad, rapid behind us there somewhere.
That could have been. Jack's gone.
Yeah, Jack left. I think he left at halftime.
Charlie Sheen is still here. Hanging in there. Yep.
Charlie Sheen is just sitting in the exit row. He's giving all the women kisses goodbye as they leave the arena.
He was taking pictures. He's got his family sweepstakes. Magic Johnson, 32 minutes in his second game. And the Lakers will see their four-game win streak come to a close tonight. They've won 4 in a row 3 different times this season. And they continue the homestand against Utah on Sunday night. Danny and I continue our travels with the Bulls as we see them in Phoenix. In between, they've got the Sunday game in Denver. Bushler, Simpkins, Randy Brown from the corner. Nope. And Sabalos brings it down. Final 35 seconds of this one. Ernie Johnson and Reggie Theus will join us on Inside the NBA. Those of you back east, it's a little late, but stay with them. We'll talk about Rod Strickland's All-Star snub. There's Ron Harper for 2. And a look back at the month of January, a month in which the Chicago team went undefeated for the first time in the 30-year history of the franchise, 14-0. Well, this is going to be their 9th win in a row on the road, their 19th win in a row, period. That's adding to a club record this team has held or has established. That one falls through with 6.5 seconds to go. The Chicago Bulls are 41-3. Michael Jordan with 17 points. Scottie Pippen, though, had 30. Dennis Rodman with 23 rebounds. And the Bulls win it big as Magic and Michael share a moment